So for today's video, we wanted to talk about the struggles of being in an interrelation. I cannot say that word.
Just say interracial.
Hey guys, welcome back to Korean Dumpling. I'm Bex.
And I'm Arnav.
So we wanted to just thank you guys first for subscribing and for supporting our channel. We have just passed 900 subscribers.
Whoop whoop.
Thank you so much for all of your support, for commenting, for subscribing to us. We do try to read all of our comments and reply to you guys.
I've noticed that majority of you guys, the viewers, are not subscribed, so it's like a 80% non-subscribed, 20% subscribed. So it would be lovely if everybody's watching the channel, watching the videos and enjoying the content. Do subscribe, press the bell icon and make sure you turn on the notification so that every time we upload, you have a notification showing on your phone so that you never miss any of the videos. And also, feel free to follow us on our Instagram channels. It's on the links below. So feel free to follow us there to kind of get a glimpse of
what we do day to day.
So a big shout out to
Summer and Zach. Make sure you guys subscribe to their channel if you've not already. Check them out. They do similar content to us. They're a really sweet Chindian couple, and let's just spread the love and get them to get loads more subscribers too.
Yep.
So for today's video, we wanted to talk about the struggles of being in an interrelation. I cannot say that word.
Just say interracial. You say interrelational.
Yeah, in an interracial relationship, particularly being a Chindian couple. We've been together now for 6 years, which is crazy. Like, I don't know how we've managed to last this long. But no, it's been a really long time. So throughout that 6 years, we have had our fair share of struggles. And so we thought we'd share that and talk about how we've overcome those things. And especially right now with the kind of social, economic
basically what's
issues
on with India and China. Because there's so much political unrest. They're at the brink of a war, or at least kind of a war to do with, you know, Kashmir, and China has occupied certain pieces of land and India wants to claim it back. There's a lot of stuff going on. My parents were also worrying one day that what if we want to go back to India, and you know, because she is not a Chinese national, but she is Chinese ethnicity. So how would people react, and what would be the kind of the general vibe towards Chinese people.
And the same for Chinese people towards Indian people. And I think throughout our relationship we've already noticed that there are prejudices against Indian people and against Chinese people, and with what's going on right now, that's obviously gotten a lot worse.
Yeah.
So some of the things that we have noticed is there are some stereotypes that Chinese people, or maybe not just Chinese people, just non-Indian people think about Indians, and I'm sure that there are for Indian people who think about Chinese people. Some people think about Indian people is that, first of all, they're smelly, chauvinistic, the man rules with an iron fist and the woman has no say in their lives. I think a really big misconception as well is that I always thought an arranged marriage was the same thing as a forced marriage. And obviously after meeting Arnav and knowing like his families, how they have relationships and stuff, I realised that's not how it is. But I feel like in the media, that's what people talk about, is forced marriage. You know, you get a 14-year-old kid who's grown up in the UK, she gets dragged back to India or Pakistan or wherever she's from, forced to marry a 40-year-old man, and then brings the 40-year-old man over here.
Which, to its fairness, happens.
Yeah.
Which is very wrong, but that's not how arranged marriages work.
No, but I think that's what a lot of people think is an arranged marriage, because we don't know how actually it is.
Because the normal things don't make news. Only the bad stuff
kind
of hits the headline.
So that's why a lot of people think that's what Indian people are like. Oh, they force their women to do things. Rape happens all the time, even though, to be honest, rape happens everywhere.
Yeah, it happens here in the UK all the time. And it doesn't happen as often as it might happen in other countries, developing nations, but it happens. But it doesn't make headlines because, I don't know. But
there's also a lot more Indians in this world.
Exactly.
So obviously,
you know, you gotta account for the population, that ratio. There have been cases in India which kind of make the national news, international news, and I guess that kind of puts us into a really bad light and makes us look like we are terrible people when we are not.
Yeah, but you can't always tar everyone with one brush, so you have to try and educate people on. And being with Arnav has definitely educated me. There was a lot of stuff that I was ignorant to before because I simply didn't know.
Yeah.
And I believed everything that I saw on the media.
And it's the same for like Chinese people. Like people have a misconception, especially right now given coronavirus and pandemic, to think anybody is Asian or Asian features. It's because there have been some racist attacks in the UK where people have been called stuff or have been attacked physically just because they're Asian. They've been called like, oh, why are you here? Why are you spreading the virus? Even though that person has been living here forever and brought up here. One of the stuff that I always hear is about Chinese people are like spies. Like every Chinese person is a spy.
I would love to be a spy.
Exactly. 1.4 billion people, Chinese people in the world, and everybody can't be a spy. So another one I hear is, if you're Chinese, you eat cats and dogs, which, to be fair, it happens in parts of China.
But it happens in other countries.
It happens
too.
in Korea, South Korea, North Korea as well. But it doesn't happen everywhere, and obviously you don't eat that.
No.
Like, it doesn't even happen in Hong Kong.
No.
You know, there are organizations and activists who are fighting against this. So it's not like all people are kind of trying to eat every living organism out there. It's unfair to both Chinese and Indian, because we are the majority of the world. Like we, you know, it's more than 1/3 of the population is Indian and Chinese people. So we get a lot of stereotypes on our back, and we have to carry the load of it. I really hope people learn from this video and not call Indian people and Chinese people certain things, because it can really hurt.
There's no need for any negativity, and I think that if everyone can start to learn about other cultures, other people, it's so much better for yourself, for your own understanding. And you know, why not spread the love? Why not understand? Before I met Arnav, I didn't know a lot of Indian cultures, I didn't know a lot of stuff, and I was able to learn, and I think that's great. And I think it's always good to be open and accepting of other people and their cultures and understanding.
And yeah, same for me. Like before I met her, I had been living in Hong Kong by then, but I didn't speak much of Cantonese. I did not know a lot about the culture, now how I know now. And obviously my language, you know, I can speak basic Cantonese now, which I did not know before. And knowing more languages is always a good thing. So I don't see why you should not be friends with certain cultures, certain people from certain places. Be open-minded and be accepting.
In an interracial relationship, there's going to be language barriers. Not for us personally, because obviously we both speak English, but for our parents, our extended family and stuff, there is a language barrier.
Yeah.
Thankfully, again, our parents don't have to communicate that often because they live in different countries.
And even when they do, they can
get by
with you know,
basic English.
So.
And I've noticed even when there is that language barrier and you can't understand what the other person is thinking, sometimes your gestures, the feeling that you have,
the body language,
and just being accepting of that other person, that means so much more than words.
Exactly.
You know, you can say words, but it's how you are around that person that makes so much more difference. And even like when I see your grandma, like I don't understand what she's saying.
Yeah, because you don't speak Bengali.
No, but she is always so loving.
Yeah, you get the general idea, the vibe that's coming from her.
Yeah.
So I don't think language is such a barrier that people make it out to be.
No, it's definitely something you can overcome with just being open and loving towards the other person and their family.
Yeah.
And my grandma communicates with Arnav just fine, even though they don't use English.
Yeah, like your grandma was born and brought up in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And I have some Bahasa Indonesia, but you know, experience from friends. It can be a barrier if you make it, but it could be also a way to open up to other cultures. Another
struggle that we've experienced is hearing other people talk about your other half in your language, and either they don't think that you understand it or they don't really care. So when we were in Hong Kong, I've definitely overheard a lot of people speaking Cantonese, and they're talking about Arnav, and I just don't know what to do because my Cantonese, I'm not comfortable enough to argue.
You can if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I feel so angry because this is someone I love, and who are you, like some random stranger on the street, who are you to talk about my husband because of the fact that he's Indian? Or, you know, we'd get weird looks because we're a Chinese Indian couple, and they're like, why has she chosen some Indian man?
In Hong Kong, there's a derogatory term, acha, that is kind of given to brown people, Indians, Pakistanis, and then the likes, and everybody, I won't say everybody, but a lot of people who haven't been exposed to India, it's how it's today, they think we are all just the same people, we are uneducated,
all the stereotypes again that
smelly,
we talked about earlier.
it's just people think we are all the same acha, and they just keep calling us the names, and like it doesn't make sense.
And again, it's just another kind of spreading negativity. You don't know this person, and yet you're saying horrible things. You're not being open to trying to understand someone who's not from where you're from. And then even when we were in India, there'd be like, particularly men, I noticed, they would stare at us, like, and they would literally, if we walked down the street, you would see their heads like follow you.
It's like a freaking gimbal, like
it
looks at you 360, and it's weird because you won't stare at other couples or in front of, it is very kind of stockish, and it makes us uncomfortable because you're just walking up to a mall maybe, or going to a restaurant, and we get these weird looks and almost like disgust. Sometimes it's disgust, sometimes it's more like just sheer wonder, why is this guy with someone who's not even Indian? It's just sad how it is. Been in India, there are 7 states in the northeast where people who have features like Asian people, and they are often
like Chinese,
Korean, Japanese, so like, fairer skin, straight hair, smaller eyes, and they are often subjected to racist comments and racist slurs. That's why Indian government has made certain words and slurs like illegal. So if you are caught saying those things, you will be put behind bars. It's not just between non-Indian person, it's also within India. They are Indians as well, and they are a core part of India that makes India so vibrant and so dynamic. But these people are often subjected to such horrific comments and stuff, which is very sad.
And even when I landed in Bangalore for the wedding, when I was going through immigration, and obviously my name has already been changed, I have Arnav's surname, and I had all my documents to say I'm married to an Indian national, and the lady was like, where are you going? And I was like, well, I'm going to meet my husband's family. And she's like, you have family here? And I was like, have you seen my name, first of all? And I was like, why is it so surprising? And she said it in a very rude way, and I was very offended. And I've flown this long to come and see my husband's family, and then at the border some lady is questioning on how is it possible that I could have family.
I'm just standing at the back.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's going on? And she looks very angry, and she told me about it later, and I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. I'm literally there, and she has to justify that she has family here. My parents.
I'm married to an Indian man.
Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, and that's someone at the border. You'd think that they would be used to seeing millions of people.
Exactly, like she has a visa and has everything in place. Who are you to say that you can't have family in India just because you're not Indian? So it
made me really angry, and I don't know, I've just had bad experiences in Indian airports, unfortunately.
It's not about airports, it's about that individual person who is behind that cubicle stamping thing. So if they're having a bad day, or if they have had...
then you shouldn't be in a service industry.
It's a bit of a handful to deal with when we are traveling.
I feel like we do sometimes try to stick together when we do go on holidays. We do try to make it obvious that we're a couple, because I feel like if Arnav is alone, I do worry that you'll get frisked or searched, and then he always makes sure that he shaves.
Clean shaven, I don't like to have any facial hair. I mean, I'm not saying you should not have facial hair.
No.
But
unfortunately, there
are
are
having
people
cases.
that,
People think stupid things. So I tend to stick with her. It's generally like if I'm alone and if I'm taking a photo and there's a kid in the front, people will think, oh, I'm a pedophile. But if I'm with her, perfectly fine. Like,
that's exactly what happened. So Arnav was taking a photo. I was standing away.
It was in Edinburgh.
It was in Edinburgh.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was just standing like in the back somewhere. I was watching Arnav. And he walked and he just kind of plonked himself right next to a child who was just sitting and playing.
I was just taking a photo of the Edinburgh Castle with the Ross fountain thingy. Is it that?
I don't know what it's called, but there's
a
fountain.
The fountain thing in the middle. And I was just taking a picture with both of them in the frame, and there was a kid in the middle. And I was like, I didn't even notice the kid.
No.
But then the parent
literally came, looked at Arnav with so much like disgust, and dragged her child away.
Yeah, and then you saw that.
I
didn't see that.
I saw that, and I went up to Arnav and I was like, you need to be careful of where you stand.
Honestly,
I don't know if it's because he's brown, or it could just because he's a man. I don't know. Maybe when you're a parent. I know. But I think maybe they thought you would. I don't know what they thought. But the way that they looked was definitely one of, this man is going to do something to my child.
Oh my god, struggles of an Indian man.
Yeah. So another struggle is also just culturally, and I think this is obviously going to be for any interracial relationship. I think for us, because we're Indian and Chinese, they're similar. Asian cultures tend to be very similar. For Chinese families, the respect on elders is very prominent, and I mean, you also have.
Yeah, both cultures are very respect the elders, listen to your parents, and at least for me, I don't know if it's for every Indian. I grew up in a family where mom and dad kind of give the food to the kids first, or at least, you know, like make sure the kid gets the best. So it's always been kind of the kid-centric, so like give the kids and then the elders can do whatever. So your culture is a bit different.
So the first time Arnav came to have dinner with us,
yeah, it was hilarious.
Well, my parents were like, oh, please feel at home. For Arnav, obviously, you've just heard feeling at home mean he eats first. For us, you have to serve your elders first. What we would usually eat is, you know, you'd have a bowl of rice and then you'd have side dishes in the middle which you share. In Chinese culture, to show respect, you'd pick up the side dish with your own chopsticks and you would give it to your elders. And that's a really big sign of respect, and also things like pouring tea for your elders. That's just something that we've always been taught to do. But obviously for Arnav, he's not been taught to do that. So
it's not that I'm not being told to do that. I also understand the importance of, you know, offering.
Yeah.
It's just I tend to take first, and then I'll be like, oh, do you want some? I can give it to you as well, but I'll just take first.
Yeah.
So obviously I did that. I took the thing, and I guess it was a bit offensive.
Yeah.
Not offensive, like a bit rude.
Obviously Arnav wasn't trying to be rude.
Yeah.
But in my parents' eyes, it came across as rude or disrespectful. So that was kind of tough, and then, you know, from then on, my parents didn't really like Arnav for quite a while actually. You know, we have one particular story which maybe we'll give in another video. Let us know in the comment below if you want to know about this.
One of the most eventful nights or
so
days.
Basically I was asked to essentially choose between my parents and Arnav, and I left the house.
It was mostly between mum and me.
Yeah, it was mostly between mum and Arnav.
Yeah.
Arnav chatted with my mum, blah blah blah. Cried, everyone cried. I stormed out the house, and then my dad came and stopped me at the bus stop. Well, we can expand on that story if you want to know about it. But essentially, you know, we had a huge fallout with my parents, and it was all because of misunderstanding. And I think I also caused some of it because I think it's very difficult being the person in the middle when your parents
want to make everybody happy.
Yeah, when your parents aren't happy. Thankfully, Arnav's family, we didn't really have this, so it would have been much more difficult if we had it on both sides.
Yeah, if my parents were also kind of against it, then it would have just been much hard.
But that was in the beginning, and like I say, it was all due to misunderstandings. Now that they understand Arnav more, they definitely love him a lot more. And
they do see that I am not the stereotypical Indian person.
I think that was what they were really worried about.
I was really thought I'm gonna marry, and then I'm gonna only marry for the visa. I'm gonna move here, and then she's gonna be home. I'm gonna earn some money and work some shit job and go out drinking, and she's gonna take care of the house.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. Like,
no, it's not like that.
You know, we both work hard, we enjoy it together, and you know, we share responsibilities. So
it was also difficult because as the middle person, you have to be really strong and you have to push back on both sides. And I felt like I tried to please both sides.
Which is hard. Which
is very hard. And I also, like, I really tried to change Arnav, which is terrible. Like, I don't think
and I am like super stubborn.
I realised now that what I was trying to do is make you Chinese. Which was never gonna, that's never gonna work.
Inculcate Chinese cultures into my head.
And I was just trying to make him be as Chinese as possible. But
yeah, so like I was always ready to embrace the culture. Yeah. I was not interested in becoming someone else, basically.
And I think another thing that kind of did cause a bit of a rift between us was that when we have like an extended family gathering, I would always be trying to get Arnav to come, and I would always make us try to show our face because I want everyone to love him. I want everyone to think of him as, you know, the son-in-law, the family member. But sometimes not all family members are going to be accepting. And I think that every time we went to a family gathering, and there would be some family members who are just not very nice to us, and I'd always try to drag Arnav along. I try and make him as amazing as possible in those family events, and we'd always go away really upset, and I'd always be angry about why are they treating my at the time boyfriend. And Arnav was like, why do we even go? If people can't show us love, if they can't be accepting, why are we even going? Why are we showing our faces? Why are we going to then be upset? Maybe we should just put our efforts on the people that we really care about, and the people who don't want to accept, just forget about it. Now obviously we've done that, but at the time it was really difficult, especially for me, because
you like to please everybody.
Yeah.
You know, your parents, your relatives, extended relatives, and obviously you want to please me, but it doesn't work like that. You can't really make everybody happy. Sometimes you just have to be a little bit selfish and see, just enjoy with the family members who are willing to share the, you know, love with you.
Yeah. So thankfully we have a lot of family members who are amazing.
No, they're lovely, I mean, our parents, you know, we had a wonderful wedding and it was so much fun. Very stressful, exhausting.
We have a video on the wedding if you're interested.
Do watch that, it's a fun video. 6 years later we are happy together, and I don't ever think of it as a huge problem.
So that's the end of our struggles of being in an interracial relationship. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any other comments, please do comment below. Any other suggestions for videos that you want us to do, or just anything that you want to discuss with us, please do comment and we definitely will try to reply.
And if there's any other experiences that you guys might have, do comment below or just reach out to us on our Instagram accounts, and we'll do our best to reply back and, you know, just help you guys in, you know, your struggles as well, because the whole purpose of the channel is to put out the word there on how it is to be in an interracial relationship,
and just spread love and positivity. And we want people to be able to go through these things like we have. We have gone through tough times as well. I'm sure many people out there are going through tough times, especially if their parents aren't accepting of them and they've had to just do it alone. We'd love to be able to help you guys.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We are at 906 subscribers right now. Please push us to 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to comment, like, share the video with the people you think might need this or might find this useful. And just keep watching and don't stop spreading the love.
See you next time. Bye.